And the woke blind virus, when I call it, is against all of that. It's wrong.
Elon, we hear so much about censorship being pushed by governments and global corporations and organisations. A lot of people don't understand why we're allowing mass, uncontrolled immigration into all Western nations. Do you believe that there are powerful forces outside of elected officials, someone controlling governments, that are trying to control the flow of information, and how do we resist that pressure?
Yeah, I think when you look at the behavior of organizations or people, you have to say, what is the incentive for these organizations? And frankly, there's a massive incentive on the left to import voters. So if they can't convince their nation to vote for them, they're going to import people from other nations to vote for them. This is a massive factor. And frankly, it's a strategy that will succeed if it is not stopped. And it is, thus far, it is succeeding. And you see strong movements to allow people who are not from Britain to vote in Britain, to allow people who are not from France or elsewhere to vote in those countries. And thus depriving the citizens of their democratic power. It's really a voter importation thing. And if they're allowed to succeed, if this is allowed to continue, they will succeed in importing voters, swaying the elections, and taking your vote away from you. That is 100% what is happening.
Do you know what's great? The BBC and the mass media cannot control this, can they?
I mean, the BBC is complicit in the destruction of Britain.
And we pay for it, Elon. We pay for it.
Yes.
We're forced to pay for it. Do you know they send us to jail if we don't pay for it?
You're forced to pay for your own destruction. It's insane. It's unfair. It is wrong.
Elon, a lot of ordinary people that are here today, they feel ignored, they feel censored, or they're labelled just for speaking up about their legitimate fears and concerns in their communities. Do you believe technology, like X or even AI, can finally give power back to those people? Or do you think it will make censorship worse or even automate it?
I mean, that's a complicated question. It really depends on what government is in charge. The government can obviously use whatever powers are available to suppress the people. And so I really think there's got to be a change of government in Britain. And we don't have another 4 years or whatever the next election is. It's too long. Something's got to be done. There's got to be a dissolution of Parliament and a new vote held. And really what matters is rallying the people of Britain, really getting the people of Britain to get the message out there, talk to your friends and family, and build a massive power base among the people. And like I said, you really got to appeal to the sort of average, the normal people that just want to go about their business. That they're sort of in a village somewhere, they're working, they just want to mind their own business. But you've got to point out to them that if we don't take action, they won't be able to mind their own business because other people are going to come and maraud them. There's genuine risk of rape and murder, and the destruction of the country, and dissolution of the entire way of life. And so, yes, in the normal course of business, if things were, if you weren't under a massive attack, then people should go about their business and just live their lives. But unfortunately, if the fight comes to you, you don't have a choice. You have to fight. So you have to rally all of the people of Britain to fight for the future.
And
if this doesn't happen, there won't be a future.
Are you ready to fight for your future, Britain?
Fight for your future.
Will we be gagged any longer, Britain?
But you know what I mean, Tommy. You know what I mean. I talk to my friends in Britain, and they're like, yes, you know, they're living in a village here or there, or a town or city here or there, and they're like, well, it doesn't seem like it's really that much of a problem. I'm like, well, if you want to know what's going to happen to your town or village, just visit London, and you'll see that it's filled with crime. It often doesn't feel like Britain at all, and it's only a matter of time before that is what happens to your town or village. It starts in London, but it will spread to every town and village in the country, and no one will have any peace.
We're running out of time, people. We're running out of time. Elon, you built rockets, you built cars, you built satellites, you built AI. Things most of us couldn't dream of. It's fair to say you're a visionary. When you look at leaders in Europe and the UK today, do you think they share the same talent for future vision, or do you feel like they'll be left behind and out of touch?
Well, I think that we've got to have a freer country, a freer, Europe in general has to be freer. It's stifled by bureaucracy. I think it's good that Britain left the EU because there's just too much bureaucracy in the EU. But frankly, instead of really going down a path of personal freedom and deregulation and getting rid of these stifling regulations, unfortunately the British government has pretty much stayed on par with the EU, if not in some ways made the stifling regulation worse. If you have excess government regulations and oppression, you stifle the freedom of people to try new and great ideas. And Britain used to be a country that did amazing things, some of the boldest things on the entire planet. And that is possible in the future. But it can't be done if you've got this massive oppressive bureaucracy and a government that doesn't care about its people. And that has to change. There has to be profound change. And there's not much time left.
Elon, you've said before that civilization is fragile. We agree.
Yes.
It's precious. When you look at the West right now, every country in the West, with its wars, its divisions, its censorship, and its declining trust in institutions, none of us trust them at all. None of the public trust them.
For good reason.
Are you optimistic or pessimistic about where we are headed?
I think if the people of Britain take charge and actually ensure that there's a government that represents their interests and not a government that represents foreign interests, then I think Britain has a great future. And I think we can be optimistic. I think there's amazing things that are possible. If the technology that's coming is used in the right way, we can have an incredibly exciting future, one which is, sort of Star Trek made real. It's sort of like the exciting utopian sci-fi where we have spaceships and we've got robots and we've got incredible technologies that are really exciting. But we need to preserve civilization long enough for that to happen, and we need to go onward and upward. And we need to fight for such a future. Such a future is not inevitable. We have to fight for such a future.
I think that many British people had lost hope, but after today's scene, have you got hope again, Britain? Britain is awake. Thanks to you, Elon. Thanks to your input. Can we just ask?
Well, thanks to you, Tommy.
Thank you, brother. Can we ask, what do you see as the future of the UK and Europe in your vision? Where are we headed? What's the future like for us?
Well, I think there needs to be a future where the people take charge, where there's deregulation, a massive reduction in bureaucracy, and generally a new hope, where people look forward, wake up in the morning, look forward to the future. They're excited about what's going to happen next. But we must have revolutionary government change for that to occur. And this is not ordinary course of business sort of stuff. This really requires everyone to sort of marshal the people, to take charge, reform the government, and make sure that you actually have a government that is for the people, by the people. And that's essential. And that's not. And so we're really at a fork in the road here. We're at a fork in the road to darkness or greatness. And that will be decided only in a matter of years. And we must take the path to greatness. And that's the path that's exciting and inspiring and will make life worth living.
Elon, you've done more than anyone to shine the torch on the crimes committed against the generation of our daughters. On behalf of everyone and on behalf of all of us in Great Britain, you know what, we wouldn't even be in the fight. Not only are we in the fight right now, but we're on the advance. Thanks to free speech being fought for us by Elon Musk. We're very grateful, sir.
You're most welcome. Thank you.